I am not ready for this.
What the heck are you doing?
Why, Sea of Cortez? Why? I'm on a mission to go and rescue Kurt and Rigby. This is the most uneventful and unattractive introduction that I hope you guys see for a long time. For those of you who are just tuning in, you are seeing us arrive to a new anchorage after an overnight sail. This was an impromptu overnight sail because the last anchorage that we were at was way too rolly and we were way too uncomfortable. So we decided at the last minute to pick up anchor and do a night sail to Puerto Los Gatos. And the night sail, pretty uneventful, except for the fact that I saw some lightning storms forming behind me in the distance. It's my first time seeing lightning storm out in the ocean while sailing, so I got spooked, and I woke Kurt up. He put a reef in. That might be that squeaky noise that you guys can hear in the background, if you can hear it at all. And I couldn't sleep at all either because I was afraid that we were gonna sink with a lightning storm. So we are here now, and I am trying to get in a good mood, but I need a nap because Puerto Los Gatos is supposed to be known for some pretty cool hiking trails, some good views, and some good hiking. So once we nap and once we shower and get some breakfast in, we will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and we will go and explore Puerto Los Gatos. Good morning, Rigby. How did you sleep? I slept like a baby. Nothing bothers me. No lightning, no engine noises, nothing. Not ready for this. Oh my gosh, I'm in the guest bathroom so you guys could hear because I'm trying to get an image or footage of you guys to experience these waves rolling in. And I don't know if you can see them on the camera. So here in the guest bathroom are dagger boards. Sleep, they lie, and even though they're mostly up, some of them are still down. And when conditions are rough, like storms or when it's really harsh waves, you can hear them banging against our boat. So this is the best way I can show you guys like how intense this is right now. And I'm waking up to get ready and get going and waiting for the sweet smell of breakfast and pancakes on Pancake Sunday, and I don't see Kurt anywhere. And I'm like, where's Rigby? And I don't see Rigby anywhere. And I walk outside and I see the dinghy down. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way Kurt took Rigby to the beach in these conditions. Normally, when it's these conditions, she has to wait or go on her pad. And I look out to the beach, and lo and behold, there's Rigby and Kurt with the dinghy on the beach. And not only that, he is like pulling or shoveling, or I don't know, I guess to the sand, I don't know what he's doing. He's taking water out of the dinghy. So I don't know if they flipped, I don't know if they're hurt, I don't know anything, but I'll tell you what I do know, I'm pretty mad.
You can see them right there. Look at those waves crushing, and look at them. What the heck are you doing?
Okay, so let me tell you what I was doing. Actually, I was sleeping pretty well when Rigby woke me up and said, I'm not waiting any longer to go to the beach. I got to take care of my business. So I lowered the dinghy, threw her in the boat, and we went to the beach to go take care of things and to go explore the area. We really didn't spend much time on the beach before I noticed that the wind and the waves started picking up. What was going on was we had an arm of Tropical Storm Celia coming through. Even though that storm was miles off in the Pacific, it was still affecting the Sea of Cortez. So I quickly put her in the boat, tried to get off the beach and get back to La Vida Gypsea, but it wasn't happening. The period between the waves was so short that we had no opportunity to get the dinghy back into the water before we were getting swamped. The problem was, I thought this was going to be a quick run to the beach, no problems, so I did not come prepared. I did not pack a handheld VHF radio, and therefore I had no way to communicate what was going on to Linda.
All right, guys, I think the situation is a lot more serious than what I made it out to be earlier. I don't think yelling at him when he gets back is going to be the right idea. I'm watching them with the binoculars and trying to keep my eye on them just in case anything happens, and it seems like he is just stuck. I think this whole like rock formations is like clay, and I think his wheels in the back of the dinghy are getting stuck and the tide is coming in, so he can't pull out. I think he's grabbing a towel or something to try to like put it under the wheel every time the weight comes down to push it back up, but he keeps getting crushed and he's lifting up the dinghy. I thought he was trying to move the dinghy up, but he's just lifting up the dinghy, and I think he probably has the bilge running to get the water out. This is all speculation because I'm not there, but he's waving at me and I don't know what to do. I can't go on the paddleboard or anything like that because I'll get crushed and then we'll both be stuck there. But the winds are picking up in front of us, and behind him I see some cloud formations back there too, so I'm hoping a Coramel or one of those crazy storms that come by here don't come on top of this hurricane tailwind that we're experiencing right now. I'm actually legitimately getting worried right now. He's been out there now for over an hour and a half from when I've woken up. I don't know how long he's been out there since before I woke up, so
Linda's speculation was pretty spot on. Every time I tried to get the dinghy back to the ocean, I was met with huge waves that would swamp me again. All I could do was to bilge it out the best that I could with a towel until it got light enough that I could lift it up and let the bilge pump and the rear drain do the rest of the work.
I'm trying to tell him to go from where the dinghy is over here to over here because the waves are coming at this angle right where he is, and right back there where I'm pointing, it seems like there's a little wave break there. There's some rocks kind of up ahead and they're breaking the big waves. It's still going to be rough to get out there, but it's not as dangerous. So I see him, I think he was finally able to get the dinghy up high enough to leave it there for a second, and he's walking over to the other side. I think he finally got my smoke signals over here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to move it. I think it's stuck in there.
I could not move the dinghy. The dinghy was way too heavy, and on a beach that's not too steep and the sand is packed, it's doable, but this beach was very steep, the gravel was loose, and all I was doing was digging in deeper and deeper. So I decided to look for another method to move the dinghy. I actually found a big stick, and my plan was to put this under the dinghy so that I could push the dinghy up the beach, slide it on the stick, and get that dinghy out of the waves as the tide was coming up.
Okay, so he went to a little house that's over on the beach and he's grabbing a big long stick. So I think he is going to try to move the dinghy still, pull it up a little bit higher and get to the spot that I'm telling him to go to, or at least tuck up until these waves dive down. Hopefully they die down, but he is pulling the stick back to the dinghy, and Rigby is the light of this serious situation. She's frolicking in the deathly waves, just leading the way, but oh my goodness, I'm glad he's an innovative, smart guy. This is why I married him. He is smart, strong, and sexy. I just need my sexy man back on the boat. You see how I started off really mad and now then worried, and now I'm like, man, that's hot.
Well, I guess I wasn't smart enough because my plans didn't work. Every time I would position the stick under the dinghy so I could push it up the beach, the next wave would come crashing and float the stick away. Now I've run out of ideas.
All right, so it doesn't seem like that plan worked with the stick. He's still stuck there, and it's starting to get pretty rock and rolly over here, and even though I'm very worried about him, I am on the boat, so I have to take care of the boat, and these waves are not letting up, and now the wind is starting to pick up too, so I am turning on my instruments right now to see where we're at so I can keep an eye out on these wind conditions. I do not know what I am going to do if we start to drag, because I don't think I can single-handedly handle this, but I can at least keep an eye on the winds, and if it starts to get a little crazy, I'll have to get really innovative and figure something out. But I've got the radar on right now just to make sure that our little boat is where we anchored, just so I can keep an eye out to make sure that we're not dragging. And right now, it seems like we're okay. We're still at the same spot that we dropped anchor at, and the winds are probably 15 to 20 knots, give or take, with these gusts. It's just gusty. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that and keep looking at Kurt and try to be the best first mate I can be. Why? Why, Sea of Cortez? Why?
I realized that the weather was not going to let up soon, but the tide kept rising, so I had to keep working to get the dinghy further up the steep beach.
This is the worst, guys. It has now been 3 hours since I woke up, and these waves have not died down. The winds are at 10 knots now, but they're going from 10 to 15 instead of 15 to 20. But it is now almost 1 o'clock, and normally the winds pick up just naturally with or without storms around 1 o'clock, so this could just get dicey. Anyway, it's already a bad situation. But Kurt is sitting over there. He found like a cardboard box, and he's sitting over there with Rigby, covered for shelter because there is a sunspot directly hitting him on the beach. Everything else is cloudy and terrible, and the sun is just beating down on both of them, and my heart is breaking right now because there's nothing I can do. I can't sail the boat over there and beach us, and I can't get on this paddleboard to go get him, because obviously if the dinghy that's got an engine can't handle these conditions, I mean, obviously I'm just not gonna be able to. But I'm hungry and worried, and I know he's starving, but everything is good so far here on the boat. The anchor chain did pull a little bit, but I checked the bridle and it's holding strong. As long as these winds don't get any crazier, I think we'll be okay. It's not so much the swell that'll mess us up. Well, it could, but I mean, it's usually the wind that's gonna, you know, unhook you. So everything on the boat is okay. I just got my eyes on Kurt. I don't know if I should send him a message in a bottle. I was thinking about maybe like getting a drone and like writing him a letter and say like, 1 hand if you're okay and you're just waiting for the waves, 2 hands if you guys are hurt, just so that I could be connected with him. But I'm not mad anymore. I'm sad and I'm worried, and my heart is breaking for both of them right now.
I sat with the dinghy as the tide rose, but once I felt it was high enough, Rigby and I retired to a nearby fishing palapa to escape the heat.
We are now on hour number 4 of Kurt being stranded on the beach. This super blows. Nothing we can do about it. There were 2 boats that just came into the anchorage. I heard them on the radio discussing. I snuck in and listened into their conversation, and they were seeing us bobbing, and they were basically like, oh, we're gonna go and anchor in here, but do you see that catamaran there? That does not look comfortable. Let's go ahead and just move a few miles up and try to find somewhere else. So I actually jumped on the radio and tried to hail one of them. And of course, like, you know, it's not a do or die situation. You know, I explained the situation. I said, hey, my captain has been stranded on the beach since 9 o'clock this morning, and you know, 9-10 o'clock this morning, and it's 2 o'clock now. So if you guys do decide to come here, it'd be awesome if you could do a little rescue party to get him. And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna go in there and check it out and see if we're gonna stop there or not. And then they decided to not stop and keep going. So Kurt lost his rescue mission.
As the day wore on, the clouds lifted and the waves started to settle down, but not enough that I could get the dinghy back into the ocean yet. It was going to take a little bit more time, but at least I could see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, it is now 5 o'clock in the afternoon, meaning Kurt has been on that beach for about 8 hours, still stuck. I'm still here. Thank goodness. I've done a lot of self-reflecting and a lot of calming down since this morning. And the ocean seems to be maybe calming down as well. There's not as many white caps. So I think I just saw him flip the dinghy around, and I think I heard him yell 1 more hour. I think he's watching the tides and trying to figure something out. But I'm hoping whatever plan he has in store works, because I just checked that book that we read to find out, you know, good anchorages and things here on the Pacific coast, and one of the things it said in the end was, and for a wonderful treat in the evening as you're settling down, you can listen to the coyotes howl as they hunt on the beach for food. And I'm like, that is not what I need to be reading right now. Mindful of the tide, and he's going to try one last time to come back aboard the vessel here in about an hour. Over.
Okay, because I see things way down.
So that was the boat that passed by earlier this morning that saw us floating and said, oh, tough luck, looks rough, good luck. Because honestly, if it's not a mayday or a pan, then people are just like, you're an idiot, why did you go on the beach when the waves are like this? But this guy actually was supposed to buddy boat with us from Mazatlan over, and it didn't work out. So he saw us on the AIS and recognized our name, and we've been going back and forth. And it's awesome to know that there are people that are willing and able to help out. He's been messaging me all day, or VHFing me all day, asking if Kurt's still okay. So I don't know if you guys picked that up, but he said he was going to come. He's just around the point, actually, so he's going to come in his dinghy and come over here and see if he can get on shore where the water's not so strong, to see if Kurt needs some help. And if Kurt is back over here by then, well then, I'm just going to throw him a beer anyway for being an awesome guy. So yeah, hopefully tonight we can turn our frowns upside down. I'm going to make him a breakfast, lunch, and dinner combined, because he hasn't eaten all day, and there will be lots of beers this evening. Okay, outfit change. The wind died down enough to be able to hear Kurt yell at me, and he told me to get the paddleboard so that I can get Rigby. I think is what I heard him say. I heard paddleboard Rigby! So I'm gonna grab the paddleboard and go and get him. It's kind of mushy right now, so I don't have much time to get this GoPro ready to take it over there for you guys. So I'm gonna go get Kurt, and oh crap, those people are coming too. Well, they'll see us on the beach over there. Hopefully they figure out that there's 2 people on the beach and they go to the beach to try to go rescue us instead of coming here to the boat, because I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to go and rescue Kurt and Rigby. Look who made it back on the boat. Gave him a sandwich. Thanks to these guys. Thank you so much, guys.
We had to. We wanted to.
Adios, guys.
Guys, I am so glad to be back on this boat. That was a long day, and that was a nightmare. Poor Rigby, I gave her a bone for all of her troubles. She was hot. She Yeah, she did not want to leave the shade. We found a little bit of shade over there on the beach and she did not want to leave it. I had to leave the shade in order to go tend to the dinghy because the tide kept rising higher and higher, and I kept having to push the boat up further and further up the beach as the tide rose. So I was unprotected, and as you can see, I got sunburned. I got sunburned pretty badly on my face. But yeah, that was not expected. I went completely unprepared, just quick trip to the beach to try to take the dog to pee, and thought I'd turn around and head back, and in the short amount of time that it took me to get her to pee and to poop, we turned around and the waves were too big.
I'm just glad that you're alive and well, and you'll see later when you're editing, I was really mad at you in the beginning and I was gonna scream at you and just rip you into shreds, but you look beat and tired, and I'm just so happy.
My face, oh, my face hurts.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy.
Oh, that hits the spot.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Well, even though this was not the first impression that I wanted out of Puerto Los Gatos, we are going to be here for another couple of days to actually enjoy the anchorage. So hopefully you guys stick around with us and you can see all the fun next week. Hopefully we have some fun next week. Before I forget, I want to say a huge thank you, patron shout out time, to Rich. You have made us wealthy with your love and obviously with your donation.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you so much. If you guys want to find out more information on how you can help put the wind in our sails, check out in the description link below. We'll leave that patron link right there for you guys to click. But other than that, we hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, and subscribe and like and all the buttons that we ask you to push every week. Do it if you haven't done it. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.